Welcome to Discover Woodfield, your guide to what's happening around the Chicago suburbs. And now, here are your hosts, Lisa and Joe.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Discover Woodfield.
And we're off to another adventure this week, aren't we?
Of course.
Okay, and where would we be this time?
Well, it's October. Where should we go?
Well, the Cubs are out. Bears aren't looking too good.
A pumpkin farm, of course.
A pumpkin farm. Let's go to a pumpkin farm.
Because we need pumpkins, right?
Exactly.
Oh, but it's so much more than just pumpkins. First of all, if you are a Jewel or Dominic's or Sam's Club or Walmart pumpkin buyer, nothing against any of those fine establishments, but this is a much more fun way to buy a pumpkin.
Exactly.
And that's only the very surface of it.
Exactly. We're talking about Goebbert's Pumpkin Farm in South Barrington.
Also known by your children at one time as
the Big Giant Pumpkin. You can see it. You know, you used to be able to see it from the Northwest Tollway, or maybe it's just because my kids had eagle eyes back then.
Yeah, that's it.
But we also used to drive down Higgins Road as well. But whenever they saw the Big Giant Pumpkin, because they have a silo with the Big Giant Pumpkin on top. Mm-hmm. So my girls would always say, Dad, we got to stop at the Big Giant Pumpkin.
Let that be your beacon. We're closing in rapidly on Halloween.
That's right. So we want to make sure that we get this out right away so that all of you can head over there. This is a wonderful family destination.
Now, what about the people who have already bought their pumpkins because they're thinker-aheaders?
There's tons of stuff you can do out there also.
Really? Even if you don't need a pumpkin?
Even if you don't need a pumpkin, you can head out there, especially if you got kids, because as I said, this is a family-friendly destination. That's what they've geared themselves for.
It's super kid-friendly.
It really is. Goebert's, they've been doing this since 1972, and in addition to tons of pumpkins, we should actually mention something here. Goebert's let's try that again. Goebert's makes the pumpkin buying experience very, very easy because I've been to places around the area.
Oh my God, you don't know.
Let me tell you.
You have to guess the weight. It's like 69 cents a pound. Somebody has to multiply.
I have seriously been to places where you get you can pick out 5 pumpkins and then you put them all on a big giant scale, or they don't all fit, so you have to put them, and then someone sits there and they weigh them. They say, okay, this was.
And somehow you wind up with $50 worth of pumpkin.
Exactly. How do they do it at Goebert's?
Well, the little ones, the pie pumpkins, are by the pound.
Right.
But your carving pumpkins are color-coded.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the colors. They have a little blob of paint, though.
It's like nail polish or something. They just kind of went.
I think it's like poster paint, but it is just a little. I
kind of like the idea of nail polish, but
white and pink and blue and green nail polish. Okay.
I have 2 teenage daughters. Okay.
But anyway, then there are signs all over the pumpkin areas telling you the prices. So if you have a budget of $15 for 3 pumpkins, you can tell your kids each get one with a white spot.
So it can turn into an educational thing as well. You can make them smart consumers and have them do the math.
I was thinking more like just rein them in.
Oh. Dad, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Or, we were the same way. We had a certain amount of money we wanted to spend on pumpkins, and so it was very easy to make our budget and stay within it. And we got some great pumpkins. All the pumpkins there I thought looked fabulous. They
were all very good. Now, this year I spoke with Sue Murdoch from Goebert's, and she's very nice. She gave me the whole lowdown on the history of Goebert's and what they have going on there as well. In addition, we went out there, so
of course.
She had mentioned that they sold 320 pounds of pumpkins last weekend.
If you lined all those pumpkins up stem to stem, they would stretch from here to Peoria and halfway back.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Maybe if you started in Peoria.
That's just the sort of quantification I love.
Yeah. But they moved a lot of pumpkins. Now, because of the weather this year, they had a very rainy season, and normally they do you pick pumpkins.
Oh, that would be fun.
Go out in the patch and you pull them up. However,
How Charlie Brown.
Exactly. Actually, that would be Linus was the great pumpkin.
Oh, sorry.
So it's okay. You're forgiven. You're a little
This
bit younger
time.
than I am. They had to import them. Imported pumpkins.
Oh, really? They're not from because we saw the fields out there,
Yeah,
or
but
the former fields.
Yeah, but because of the
Okay.
the weather and whatnot, they had a very bad year. It was a very bad year in this region for pumpkins, so they had to be imported. But don't let that stop. They had a bumper crop.
Yeah, that I never would have believed.
They were everywhere,
and
tons, and they were all very, very good.
and very reasonable.
Mm-hmm. So when you get there, first of all, parking is. We went to the South Barrington location. Parking is ample. Would you say? Just want to use that word. It's ample. A lot of parking. We happen to go during the week, but on the weekends, it does get. They have a lot of people who come out there, but they can accommodate a lot of people out there.
Quite frankly, I can't even imagine what it must look like on a weekend.
Mm-hmm. But so you go in, they have the grounds, and on the grounds they have it's very spread out as well. And the pumpkins just aren't in one area. They're spread out in pockets throughout the property. It's a lot of property that they have out there. And then interspersed with all the pumpkins, they have painted cutouts of various cartoon characters.
Yeah, so you can get your picture taken with the Scooby-Doo crew or the Charlie Brown crew or SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm. You can stand between SpongeBob and Patrick.
Oh.
Or you took a picture of me with Cookie Monster.
All kid size, sort of like the 4 to 6 size.
Right. And they
3
also
to 6.
and they also have the classic "How Tall This Fall" thing, where the idea is that you bring your kid and you stand your kid in front of that every year.
Aww.
Until they're like 18. All right, come on. Oh, come on. We just need one more.
Really, I wouldn't recommend it for the teens,
No.
but
for little kids, it's great. They have, in addition to all of this stuff.
So anyway, your pumpkin shopping is going to be sprinkled with fun throughout. But
Right. They've got. They have a zoo, which is much more than a petting zoo. They actually have 2 baby giraffes. They have baby lions. They have a 1-year-old tiger. They have a kangaroo, a 3-month-old baby lion.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And actually, the giraffes will eat out of your hand.
Who would have guessed there in Barrington?
So it's typically more than your typical petting zoo, which has your barnyard animals, your goats and your chickens and whatnot. So
some exotic fauna.
They also have pony rides. And you can also ride
a camel.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the pony rides, adorable little ponies, and we saw the camel rides.
Uh-huh.
Huge camel. That's really something to see, a 3-year-old on a camel.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty cool. They also have a family-friendly haunted house.
Aww.
So it's actually geared towards second grade or school-age kids. And it's scary, but it's not overly frightening.
It won't be like that one my parents took me to that I had to be carried out of. Oh my God, I've never cried so hard in my life.
Yeah. Aw. I've been to in the last 5 or so years, I've been to some pretty frightening Halloween things.
I was pretty wussy.
Aw.
Even for a 4-year-old. I'm sure it was like rated PG. My parents were very careful about those things, but
this won't happen at Goebert's. It's all very tame. Tame, but not lame. Can I say that?
That's an awesome slogan for a haunted house. Tame, but not lame. If you're the cool hip parents.
That's right.
Or if you have cool hip kids.
Mm-hmm. They also, in addition to all of that, they have their little store in which you can buy pies. They have fudge. They had fruit. They had tons of apples there.
All kinds of great fall type treats.
They had apple butter, pumpkin butter.
Apple butter. Oh yeah, pumpkin butter.
Mm-hmm. What did we get? Oh, we also got chocolate dip pretzels.
Yeah, not really so much fall themed. It's just chocolate because we needed some.
But darn, look good. They also have there's a food concession there called the Red Barn Cafe. They also have a kettle corn stand. They have a covered area, like an area with a big outdoor tent-like thing. So when for the overflow of the crowds on the weekends, and they have little food booths set up in there, so you can get like a hot dog and stuff like that.
So actually, we were there on a weekday, and it was pretty subdued, very light crowd, which some people would really like. Some people and some kids would prefer a little more the excitement of a bigger crowd. But really, it's like a fall. It's like a fall fair.
Right.
You have all the same kind of things you might at a fair. Plus, you can buy your pumpkins and other fall type products.
Mm-hmm. You can buy various holiday type things. There's a gift shop there where they sell Department 56 type. I guess it'd be Department 56 items.
Brand items.
Items. I think that's the word I was looking for.
So I say if you're going to go, don't just go and grab a couple pumpkins and get out of there. Make a whole day of it.
It's a destination.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. And your kid, because realistically, okay, kids, I had, when my kids were little, you could spend half hour with them finding the perfect pumpkin. And then when they find the pumpkin, then they're ready to go. That's it. Let's go home. Let's get this thing carved. But you say, just wait a minute. And what you might want to do, in fact, this is what I had done with my kids, because I actually took my kids to Goebert's when they were littler. Go around, you look around, and you do all that stuff first, and you say, okay, when we're ready, then they have something to look forward to. Then you say, okay, now we're going to be picking out our pumpkins, but just, sort of keep your eye out and see if something good comes up, and then when we're ready to go, then we'll go.
It's so funny, because picking out a pumpkin now is just like picking out anything else at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, you just, that one looks fine.
Yeah, here's a cantaloupe, okay. Watermelon.
I can't imagine it being but I, never having had kids, didn't know anything about the pumpkin farm experience
until now.
And
there you have it. They also have, Goebert's has a location in Hampshire as well. And Hampshire's a slightly different.
Where the heck is Hampshire?
Hampshire's a little bit further northwest. If you continue down out
like
near
past Barrington,
like towards the Huntley area. So it's a little bit further.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this and you're in the Elgin or Algonquin or Lake in the Hills or Huntley area,
super far.
You can head over to the Hampshire one as well. It's a similar setup, but it's got different features. They have a dragon that eats pumpkins. They have a pumpkin launcher, which frankly is the thing I want to see. We haven't been out
dragon?
there. We might have to take a trip. Yeah, an animated chicken show. They have wagon rides and a haunted mine shaft.
I think we do need to go out there.
I think we're gonna have to take a trip out there. So that sounds very, very cool. Now they are going to be open. Both locations are going to be open through Halloween night. That's their last night, and then in the spring. The South Barrington location opens, their garden center opens in April, and both locations open for the pumpkin festivities in the last weekend of September. So head out there.
So hopefully you'll be on it a little bit earlier next year if you can't get to it this year.
Exactly. Mark this down. Make a note in your calendar right now while you're listening to this.
Because you'll forget. You will.
Lord knows I do. The admission to the South Barrington location is free. There's a nominal admission charge to the Hampshire location. Both locations are open 9 to 6 daily, and they accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. They also have an ATM there. This is something that's important because I have been to places, other pumpkin farms that, you go there and you realize you're a little light on cash, and it's cash only. So that's really good that they thought of that. So that's good. The locations, for those of you who are asking, because I know you're sitting there asking this.
Joe, tell us where to go. We're in the car. We're ready.
40 West Higgins Road in South Barrington. You just head up Higgins Road and you'll see it. You can just look for the big giant pumpkin. And then in the Hampshire location is 42 West 813 Ranking Road in Hampshire. They also have a website, which is www.pumpkinfarms.com. So there you have it.
Great.
And once again, we'd like to thank Sue Murdoch for giving us all the information about Goebert's and filling us in on all the stuff that's going on out there.
Yes,
and again, we had a wonderful time when we were out there wandering around with our little wagon or a shopping cart with the with the pumpkins in it. And
so, what are you going to carve on your pumpkin this year?
I haven't decided yet.
A happy face, a scary face,
maybe
a Pac-Man.
Ooh, a Pac-Man is an idea. I was going to do something very abstract.
Like an eye over here and the nose up here.
Sort of a Picasso
like
thing.
The mouth side.
Why? What are you going to do?
Definitely a vampire.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've
You got
never done a
ideas?
vampire, but after we watched Interview with a Vampire,
You're right in there.
I'm prepped for Halloween.
Oh, and that's the other thing is that Goebbert sells all the little kits for carving your pumpkin. So
all the little
scoopers
safety
and the safety knives, the little lights that go in there, the whole shot.
Yeah, that's the thing now, to use like the LED candles rather than
a real live
flame
candle.
candles.
Imagine that. Be safe. So I think that's going to just about wrap it up for Goebert's. So once again, check it out. It's a great place to go. If you have kids, it's a wonderful place to go. And even if you don't have kids, just head out there because it's just a fun fall thing to do. And if you are listening to this after Halloween, by all means, mark your calendars and head out there in the spring or next fall.
Yeah,
we'll have the
definitely.
garden center in the spring and the pumpkin farm in the fall.
Tune in. We'll remind you.
We'll talk to you next year about this. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you again next time.
Good night.
Thanks for downloading Discover Woodfield. Be sure to visit our website at chicagonorthwest.com, or you can email us at discoverwoodfield@gmail.com. Discover Woodfield is produced for the Chicago Northwest Convention Bureau by Cheap Date Media at cheapdatemedia.com.